There's two kinds of people in the world. Those that loathe the liver and those of us that love liver. That's right, I'm in the good guy camp. Liver is nature's superfood, full of all kind of benefits, nutrients and stuff that are beneficial to your body. You ought to try it. We're gonna cook liver and onions today in the Discada. Hey, welcome to Big Lou Barbecue and other things I want to do. I'm Big Lou, and this is what I've got going on for you. I'm gonna cook some liver and onions today. Before I do that, though, I want to tell you a story. I got a good friend of mine who runs a nursery, you know, a wholesale nursery where they sell plants, not like keep little kids, that kind of nursery where they sell plants. Anyway, the fellow lives next to him, runs a cattle farm, all right, and he sells steer and stuff. Now, my buddy, I've been playing chess with him, the one that runs the nursery. I've been playing chess with him going on almost 20 years. I started playing chess with him around 2005. This is 2023 when I'm making this video. So what, 18 years or something? Anyway, we like to play chess, and he used to beat me with the fried liver attack. I beat him nowadays with the fried liver attack. But anyway, that's a chess open. It comes out to Yoko Piano. He's an E4 player. I'm an E4 player. You know, we'll hit the fried liver on each other. That is a legit chess opening. But we're going to fry some liver today in the Discada. All right, so there's another guy he's played with us at the chess club before, and he runs the cattle ranch, whatever it is. Got steers for sale, you know. And I'd run into him on Saturday. He's asking me if I wanted to buy a steer. He said he's got a few more steer, and I'm not in a position right now to buy a whole steer and stick it in my freezer. I don't have the freezer room. Got some car bills coming up, so anyway, I'm not doing that. But anyway, my buddy that runs the nursery, he called me up, and he said, "Hey, Lou," he says, "I've got some things you might want." Now, he's in his 80s now. I've been playing chess with him since he's been in his 60s, and I was in my 30s, all right? Now I'm in my 50s. He's in his 80s. He says, "My kids don't eat it, and my grandkids don't eat it, but, we'll call him E. I'll just give him the initial E. All right, and my buddy that runs the nursery, he is Jay, all right? So Jay calls me up and says he's got some meat. He says, when he processes the steers, people don't want this meat. He says there's some liver and there's some other stuff there. He says, and I've got plenty of it. He says, I like the liver and onions, but my kids and my grandkids don't eat it, so I want you to come and get it. So I came and got it. And I got several packs of liver, all right? And I love liver and onions, I just do. And he also had some beef tongue. Yeah, I'll be making some tacos de lengua on the show real soon. All right, had some beef hearts. I'm gonna be making some anticuchos on the show real soon. Yeah, had some oxtails and other stuff. Loaded up a cooler, and he just gave it to me. So anyway, I got 2 packs of this liver right here, processed from a local cattle farm. I don't know, it's not just down the road, but it's not too far from me. It's not, you know, my same parish. Yeah, I live in Louisiana. We got parishes and other counties, you know. So anyway, it's local liver. It did come from the grocery store, and we're gonna cook it up in my Discada. All right, and I'll show you how I like to fry liver. I usually do it in my cast iron pan inside, but I've got 2 packs. I need a big pan. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, and what I'm going to do is open this up, and I'm gonna drop it in some milk. And it'll be about an hour or so my time when you see me again. It'll be just a few seconds when you see me again, your time. All right, I got the Discada over there heating up. I'm gonna be using some Kenlock pecan oil. I'll have a link down below where you can save 15% on this stuff. I like it. They say you gotta use butter. Yeah, we're gonna use a little butter too. Gonna use a little butter. All right, I'm gonna use Heath Rile's Cajun Creole garlic butter. I really like this Cajun Creole seasoning. You can use your favorite Cajun Creole seasoning if you want to. I've got some flour. This is all-purpose flour, so I added in some baking powder. Maybe a tablespoon of baking powder, that much flour. If it was self-rising flour, I would not have added in the baking powder. And I've got 2 medium-sized onions cut up. I really think for this much liver, I'd like to have 3 onions. I cut them up about that size, you know. I'd like to have 3 medium-sized onions or 2 large onions, but 2's all I had on hand, so 2's what I get. I live in the country, can't just jet up to the store and buy an onion. All right, now there's the liver. It's been soaking in milk. Sometimes I go ahead and soak it in hot sauce, but with the milk, but I didn't today. There's some small pieces like that, and there's some rather large pieces down here too. Okay, so I'm gonna flour the large pieces first. And what I'm gonna do is just drop it in here like this, all right? And we're gonna take the Cajun Creole garlic butter, and we're gonna hit it with that. Just like that, right there on the meat. Just like that. Flip it over, get all the sides. Yeah, plenty of it. And just dredge it in the flour just like that. And then it's gonna go into Discada. I'm gonna do each piece like that. We're gonna drop it in there. Let me go show you what's going on with my Discada that's heating up. All right, I'm adding some Kinlock pecan oil. I don't wanna do this part in butter because butter will burn. Want a fair amount in there. I really like using this stuff. Okay, we're gonna let that oil get real hot there in the center, and I'm gonna drop in this liver. Now look, I've got an announcement to make for y'all. You might not have known this, but you need to know this. I'm bi. That's right, I'm bi. I'm bilingual. That's what I am, bilingual. I speak Spanish and English. And when I'm speaking English, I call this a discada. I know in Spanish, discada refers to the meal you cook in it with a bunch of various different meats and make tacos out of. I also call this a plow disc sometimes, or a cowboy walk, but usually I call it discada when I'm speaking English. I'll call it a disco when I'm speaking Spanish, un disco, but I don't call it a disco when I'm speaking English because that's a 1970s dance type music that nobody listens to anymore. All right, anyway, I'm just gonna fry these like that. Go ahead and do the rest of them. Smear some on there like that. All right, I don't know if you can see this, but you start to see it, the blood pooling up on the other side there. That's about what I know it's time to turn it, maybe 2 to 3 minutes per side. And I'm gonna turn it and go ahead and move it up here a little bit. All right, get this one out the way. They're gonna cook some more, but that's the way I can put some more pieces in that I've just dredged. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm using here, it's called a Cajun pit stick. I'll have a link below to it. I'm not affiliated with the Cajun pit stick, but I know the guy, and I really like it. I'll also have a link below to Southwest Disc, where I bought this Discada from. I think they do a great job, make some of the best Discadas in the industry. And I need to cut this fire back a little bit. That's getting a little brown. You don't want to burn liver. Pull it up here. Let that one cook. And I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing. All right, zoom out a little bit. As you can see, I've moved the larger pieces of liver as they cooked or began to cook to the outside. These smaller pieces, they're not done yet, but they will get done. They get done sooner than the others. But I'm gonna go ahead and put those on the outside rim. It's still cool up here. I mean, it's still warm up there, but it's much cooler than the center of a Discada. Now I've got all this leftover flour and residue. I kind of want all that fond, call it, I kind of want all that. I really kind of want it all. Especially if I was doing a gravy with this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a gravy yet or not, but I might. All right, I'm gonna put that in the center like that. And I'm throwing some pecan oil because we need more pecan oil in there. A generous amount. Now, if you want to get rid of all that flour that cooked and fell off, you're welcome to. And what we're gonna do is dump in the onions. I'm getting to cook the onions in the center. Now I'm gonna tell you, for this recipe, it's probably best if you have a lid for this Discada. I'm just gonna cook these onions right there and all that fond, and I'm gonna add some more of this Heath Riles Cajun Creole garlic butter. Now, I'm not gonna cook these onions a long way right now. They are gonna cook more in just a few minutes. But I am gonna get them coated in all this fond. All right, now I'm gonna turn this fire down low. Way low. That's one thing I like about this big Kahuna burner. You can really get that fire to simmer. So I've got the fire simmering now. We'll move these onions like this right here. I'm start putting these pieces of liver down underneath here, okay? Just like that. If it's got raw flour right there, that's all right. We'll put that down here and it will cook. All right, put some onions on top. Put that over here. Put all the liver down there. Into the center, just like that right there. Get this one down here. Put some onions on top. And just move it all down to the center. So when I want to cook a lot of liver, more than my little cast iron 12-inch skillet will hold, I do it here in this Discada. All right, like I said, I wish I had more onions. You know, I don't put the onions up that way. Put all the onions up that way, put all the liver down here. Get these onions on top. Want the onions on top. All right, just like that. Now, here comes the butter. I'm just gonna melt the whole stick of butter there. I'll stir it around in a little bit. And we'll cover it and let it simmer like that for several minutes. All right, just remove the lid. I'm gonna kind of smear this butter around the top a little bit. Get it all on these pieces. Stir everything around a little bit. All right, a few more minutes has passed. I've stirred it up once since you haven't looked. I'm gonna go ahead and check this liver. Even the small pieces, that's not quite ready, the small pieces, but the big pieces are done. But I'm not ready to quite eat it yet. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fire off, and I'm gonna bring this inside, and I'm gonna keep it covered while I go ahead and prepare my side dishes of some, instant mashed potatoes and some canned green beans. And by then, even that little piece, which I'm gonna go ahead and put on the bottom, will be done. I've checked the other pieces a few minutes ago. I know they're all done. All right, it's got a liver and onions. Not that pretty, but sure is delicious. Well, you know what? I'm gonna do a taste test anyway. I've already tasted it inside. But grab that little bite right there. Yeah, I'm eating it with a fork. Really, really tender. I'm being locally processed from a local steer. It's cut, 3/8 to quarter, 3/8 maybe a half inch thick, at least a 1/4 inch thick, but I think it's 3/8. It's nice sized pieces of liver. It's really delicious. I want to thank my buddy John. I played a fried liver on Thursday night at Chess Club now. All right, for giving me the liver. My buddy Ellis, I called him E earlier, for raising the steer and having it processed, and man, that's gonna be some good stuff. Hey, we got tacos de lengua coming up. We're gonna have anticuchos coming up on the channel because I got beef hearts and tongue in my freezer. Thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue.